Steve Keim is finally getting the criticism that he deserves in the national media. And of course, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. What's going on, Arizona sports fan family? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Definitely do me one huge favor. Smack the like button on this video and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. We're on the road to infinity, so definitely subscribe it up. It is free, so go ahead and join the community. Also follow me on all my social platforms. In the description of this video, you'll see my Twitter as well as my Instagram. Alright, let's go and dive right into it here. Let's talk about Steve Keim and what report I ended up seeing today. Now, if you guys have been following my channel for quite some time, you know that I have not been a big fan of Steve Keim, and I wanted him fired back in 2020. I even made a video about it. Now, granted, my channel was a lot smaller back then, but I'm not just jumping on this bandwagon just to say, fire Keim, fire Keim. No, I've been wanting Steve Keim gone for quite some time. Alright, let's take a look at the report that I ended up seeing today. Now, this is from Jordan Schultz, and it says this: heavy criticism for #Cardinals GM Steve Keim from a long-time NFL personnel staffer I spoke with. And this is the quote that I ended up putting out. It says this: Keim's a fan. He's been able to keep that job because of his relationship with Michael Bidwell, but he's not a football savant or a football mind. He's not a leader. Now, it's crazy to me, right, that we have people outside the organization, or maybe this person was in the Arizona Cardinals organization. We don't 100% know, right? In the world that we're living in right now, we all go based off of sources, and we have to kind of, I guess, either take it for what it's worth or not. But this person ended up saying things that we've been talking about for quite some time on this channel, and a lot of Cardinal fans that want Steve Keim out. And now it still blows my mind that Steve Keim has been able to retain his job as long as he has. Steve Keim has been the GM of the Arizona Cardinals since 2013, and since 2013, his record pertaining to the record of the Arizona Cardinals is 80-75-2. Now, can you blame that on, obviously, Bruce Arians being the head coach for the majority of the front part of his, tenure being a GM? Probably, right? Now, there was breaking news that did end up happening pertaining to the Tennessee Titans, where they ended up firing their GM midway through the season, which is an absolute shock. Now, that is John Robinson. John Robinson has been employed since 2016 as the GM of the Tennessee Titans, and his record from being the GM is 66-43. Now, if we take this back and compare John Robinson to Steve Keim, since 2016, Steve Keim is at a whopping 46-63-2. Not a very good record for being a GM, but we absolutely know as Cardinal fans why he's been able to retain his job as long as he has is because of Michael Bidwell, and they're buddy-buddy with each other. So that's been one of the most frustrating things as an Arizona Cardinal fan, seeing him draft time in and time again, because I don't think I have the confidence in seeing another draft trying to see, Steve Keim fumble another opportunity. He goes for the best player available, but honestly, if you think about it, it's all subjective pertaining to what he thinks is the best person available. Now, every time he does this, he neglects a lot of needs for the Arizona Cardinals, whether you say it's the edge, the cornerback, the offensive line, whatever the situation is. Steve Keim is not a great GM. He's been, riding the high horse of this 11-win season this last year, and the tenure of Bruce Arians, at least in my opinion. If you take a look at his first round picks, most of those first round picks are not even in the NFL, or they tried out with a different team and it succeeded a lot better than being with the Arizona Cardinals. So there's just a lot that goes into this. I don't believe Steve Keim knows how to build a roster at all. I don't think Steve Keim actually has a game plan coming into the season, or at least it's not a consistent game plan from year in and year out. Whoever he thinks that is, he's going to go out there and pick him up. Now, this is going to be the spot where Michael Bidwell steps in, right? We can make these videos every single year. We can have national media talk about it time in and time again until, we're blue in the face. But the person that's really going to need to make this decision is Michael Bidwell. He needs to be able to look himself in the mirror and figure out what is wrong with this Arizona Cardinal team. Now, I know a lot of people blame Cliff Kingsbury as well as myself. Now, the lack of depth in this team, we've talked about it coming into the season, and there's been a lot of fans saying, Mike, cool, chill. We have 11 wins last year. We're going to go 13 this time around. Look where we are at now, right? We have been falling victim of a team that had so many injuries and didn't have enough depth to go ahead and, help us out. And that is the fault of Steve Keim. It almost kind of feels like Steve Keim got the extension and he became complacent. And that's the last thing you want to do as a GM. You always have to think 2 years, 3 years ahead to figure out what we're going to be able to do moving forward. Because as of right now, I don't think any Cardinal fan has the level of excitement, the level of confidence in Steve Keim. People are already making jokes out there pertaining to, oh, we're going to get another linebacker. Who's the next best linebacker, right? Because we've gone back-to-back quarterbacks. We've gone back-to-back linebackers, and it almost kind of feels like Steve Keim is out there winging it, and we're pretty much out here watching it happen, right? Watching it crash and burn, and this is the direct correlation of Steve Keim. But we went ahead now and gave this information, put it on a silver platter, and provided it to Michael Bidwell. So at this very moment, do you guys think that Michael Bidwell will make a change? Now, I know he just got an extension, but people are starting to talk at this point. We got Patrick Peterson talking about it, saying that Cliff Kingsbury is going to be the scapegoat. Now we have a lot of Cardinal fans up in an uproar. What do you think is going to happen with Steve Keim? Put everything in the comments below. Last thing I want to say is, Michael Bidwell, you're up. What are you going to do?